Morning YouTubers, 70 days, 20 hours remaining. It's a Friday, and if you're training, you know that means absolutely nothing, because your diet is likely to be planned, your training is likely to be scheduled for, well, weeks ahead, and the weekend no longer means sitting on the sofa, putting your feet up, doing gardening, playing football, rugby, or whatever interests you. It likely means that you're going to be out for a long run and a long ride. You'll be catching up with the family and attempting to sleep as much as you can, get a crafty 40 winks in. So today I have a moderate pace 45-minute run to above, so not the warmest, and it's very foggy down here on the coast, south coast of England. A little bit aching today, not an excessive amount. I think it's from the bike and body just getting used to that position, but comfortable, happy, grateful to be alive, breathing, and fortunate to be doing something on a daily basis that is helping me evolve and develop as a human, as an asset to society. So that's that for the day. One thing I did realise yesterday when I was out riding and reviewing the footage, I don't know whether you saw, but there was a van that nearly knocked me off as it was coming up to the roundabout, and I think, well, I'm certain it was deliberate. He literally closed off the space. He actually, the back of his van, where he came in at an angle, hit my elbow as I was up on the bars. And I really don't know what's wrong with that type of individual. I mean, what do they think they're going to benefit from knocking off a cyclist? And I can only relate those to the people that speed up as you pull out of a junction or pull off a roundabout. They're the type of people that accelerate towards you if they're already on the roundabout. I mean, what do they hope to achieve by crashing into you? It just baffles me. So yeah, I mean, there were two occasions yesterday on the ride where that happened. One was on a roundabout on the way back, but the one that stood out predominantly was that van. They're an automated entrance system company. Anyway, that was yesterday. That was past today's today. So run. Got a 50 mile or 55 mile ride tomorrow, and then a 10-minute transition, and then a swim in the evening, I think. Tomorrow's going to be a long day. Long training AM session. I just really want to talk about now my bike choice. I'm going to probably talk about it later as well, closer to the event. Maybe do a kit breakdown when I'm in Lanzarote the week before. If you're watching this and you haven't yet bought a bike, let me share with you how I decided. I wrote down a list of what I wanted, and what the major contributing factors were. The first was the fact it's my first ever triathlon. Now, I already had a tri bike. For whatever reason, I couldn't get comfortable on it. Didn't feel particularly confident on it, and it was an entry-level bike. Not that that has any bearing whatsoever, but it just didn't feel right. So, first things first, it was about, the first deciding factor I would say was about being comfortable. Now, comfort to me is more important than speed, and I will try where possible to get as much speed out of a bike and as much aerodynamics without compromising that speed. So if it means that I've got to be up on the bars on a 50-50 split, then so be it. That's no big issue for me. I'm not looking to finish in the top 1%. I'd be happy to finish at all, or grateful to finish at all. So, first factor. The second factor is, was I going to continue after, or continue to ride, or do other competitions post the Ironman? Because the last thing I wanted to do was invest heavily in a bike and then for it to sit in the garage gathering dust for, well, until I decided to get it out and sell it, or it just ended up staying there and being forgotten. So it was the longevity, the second factor pretty much was the longevity of my aspiration to continue. And that was a bit of a, you know, a stab in the dark, because if I DNF, do not finish, am I going to do another one? Because of my personality and the nature of me, I'd probably say yes, I would. So, was the investment in a good or a slightly better bike worth it? Yeah. The third factor, considering those two earlier factors, was the price or budget. Now, if you're looking already, you know that you can spend £10,000 on a bike and you can spend £800 on a bike. The difference in terms of the compound, what they're made of, will likely be aluminium with carbon forks or a carbon fibre frame, and then you have the difference in group sets according to that as well. And then there became, so that was the third factor, so budget and what really I wanted out of a bike. Then became brand or manufacturer. Now, there were several that I liked the look of. There was the BMC TM1 or TM2. There was the Specialized Shiv. There was the Scott Plasma Team, I think it was. There was the Argon 18 E118. They've just brought out a new range. There was the Blue Triad. There was the Cervelo P6, I think it is, P5, P6. And I think there was another one. Now, most of those bikes start at around about £2,500 for the entry level, working their way up to £10,000. They are all available in the UK through hire purchase or finance. That was another option. Finance a bike over 3 years, go for the most expensive one, have all the bells and whistles, the Di2, the carbon fibre frame, carbon fibre forks, and a good set of clinchers. Did I really want to be spending £130 a month on a bike? Did I want to be committing to £10,000 worth of bike or less? 4 or 5? I don't think I did. Well, no, I didn't. I don't have any finance or any loans, so I'm not prepared to at this stage go out and spend it. Then became the question of what actual difference is that going to make on me on the day. And I said this, I think, 3 days in. The difference in my budget for my bike, I believe that saving myself an extra £1,000 on the bike and going for something lesser or less expensive, not necessarily lesser in quality, that £1,000 could be spent on nutrition, on a lot of other factors, which I think would have more of an impact on the motor behind the bike, so me. If I can shed 5 kilos, that's going to have a greater effect on my time than whether I've spent an extra £3,000 on a bike. For the pros that are already at 72 kilos, yes, an extra water bottle's worth of weight is going to make a difference. A titanium bottle holder will make a difference. To me, it's not going to make any difference whatsoever. I would gain more time through the helmet I was using than the bike, I would probably say. Now, I'm not talking about chain sets or clinchers or anything like that. I'm talking about the weight of the frame itself. So there was that factor. And then there was the big debate of new and used. Now, there's always that concern over new and used, because you could compromise on the sizing of the bike. So you might go for something that doesn't necessarily fit all that well just because it's within your budget. And that was one of the things that I set out from day one, not to compromise on size. Find a bike that actually fit, and then, you know, then look for value for money, what you could get. Now, it just happened, I happened to be very, very fortunate that one of the triathletes that I know was selling his bike, and I got it at a steal, really. I mean, you've got top of the range group set. It's not Di2, but, you know, again, the electronic group sets, I think, are probably for someone that's a little bit more advanced in their triathlete career than me. Carbon fibre frame, carbon fibre forks, relatively good wheels, tyres all set up. It had, yeah, I mean, it has everything that I need on it and more. The bike is probably a little bit too advanced for me as a rider, but I can grow into it. So, more fate and attracting what I wanted actually came out, and actually went for the Sipo. It's a slightly older model, a couple of years old. It's a small bike, it's a short bike. It's a relatively aggressive riding position. Japanese by make, and so far I'm happy with it. I'm glad I didn't go out and spend £4,000 on a bike. I think it would have been crazy. I'm glad I invested and didn't rush into buying my bike. And I probably spent a good 10 hours researching the different bikes out there, what all of the group sets meant, asking questions, asking the difference between carbon and aluminium, the difference between the types of carbon that are used, because there are many different types of carbon, the different types of wheels and the wheels best suited to the race that I'm going in for. Lanzarote has exceptional crosswinds, very similar to Kona, I believe. So, the depth of the clincher would make a big difference, or the depth of the rim. You didn't want something too big that was going to work in a sail and literally wipe the bike out from underneath you if you got a gust of wind. Then you didn't want something that was too small that wouldn't take the impact. So there were so many different factors, and the questions I just kept asking, and just became the annoying why man. Asking my friends for why that was the right choice, what was the right choice, and everything seemed to fall into place. So I researched, analysed, and then I put it into practice. And again, I think there are times where you can walk into your local tri store and they're going to sell you the bike that's in there, and that did happen to me. Brilliant bike. It was on sale. It was a lot of money, but it was last year's range. And that's another thing. If you're going to compete, or your race is the following year, and you've got the money burning a hole in your pocket, hold out to the following year, because again, unless you're concerned about the latest model, if you're buying in January, February, or even November, December, January, February, even March, you can pick up some cracking deals, like 60% off some of the last year's model bikes. For me, I don't mind riding a bike that's the last year's model, or the last year's wetsuit, or the last year's helmet. If you're getting value for money, unless the technology advances massively and dramatically, and there's developments in the safety, or something that's going to, propel you through the water 5 minutes quicker, then you've got to ask yourself, is it worth it? And I'm not sure it is. As businesses, all of these manufacturers have to evolve. They need to keep new products coming out. I know this from myself, my own business. You've got to constantly evolve as a business and an individual. But don't get caught into that unless you have, as I said, the money burning a hole in your pocket. So there's several of the factors that really made me decide on what I wanted. It was comfort, budget, brand or manufacturer, recommendations from people, value for money, sizing, new or used. Don't shy away from used, but do know the source. That was another thing. I scoured the internet. I looked on eBay and a number of other websites, some tri-based websites. You get some cracking deals, sure, but you always run the risk of not knowing whether the bike's been dropped, it has any cracks in it, what the history is behind it. And sadly, there are a lot of copied bikes out there. So, again, I was very fortunate to know where my bike came from, and it's a trusted source. So I know the people, I trust them. So there was no really question of integrity there. But don't shy away from it, despite what you're told, because you can get some really amazing deals. You can get some people out there that have won bikes in competitions and don't want them. You can get people out there that have done what I said at the beginning, invested thousands upon thousands in gear, and then decided after their one event that it's not for them, and then have an expensive product sitting there in their garage or in their lounge or wherever, gathering dust. So they decide to get rid of it, and you can save significantly. Also, bear in mind that buying second hand, you're not always getting the best price. If you ring some of these companies directly and explain to them what you're doing, and have they got anything that may fit your budget, you may find there's some leniency with some of these smaller independent companies. Did speak to one of the guys and explain what I was doing, and he said that he would give me 30% off the list price. So people like hearing your story, and I think, as I said all along, the community seems incredibly supportive. Those businesses do have to earn an income. They do have rent and rates to pay, so you've got to respect that. But also, if someone's bought the latest, newest bike, they may have paid a premium for it, and if it's last year's model, the shops may have a little bit more to play with to get rid of that old stock. So, you know, explore that avenue. So that's it for me for now. I'll cover in more detail different bits of the bike. I'm going to do a full bike breakdown when I'm in the sun, probably the week before the race. I've got to head home now. I've just pulled up, I've got to post some letters. I've got to head home now, finish some bits and pieces, and then I'll be going out once the fog clears for a run. And then that's it really for today. I've got a few chores to get on with, and I have a stack of paperwork to finish off. So, enjoy your Friday. Thanks for tuning in. Please remember to join us on Facebook, and let's build the community. Appreciate all your help, all your advice, and keep the good comments coming. Don't forget to share as well. If you know someone that's in the sport and you think one of my videos could help, please share over social media. I really appreciate the expanded coverage. For me, for now, peace out. Thanks again. I'll speak to you later.
Just finished a 40-minute run. It was meant to be 45 minutes, but didn't take as long as I thought. As you can see, the fog has cleared and it's turned out to be a really nice day. So it says, according to the Garmin, 5.98 kilometers, 40 minutes. Training zone was around about the 2 mark. It's dropped slightly to 1.5 now, but I've just got back to the car and having some hydration. First 20 minutes I did on the stones on the beach, so a bit of ankle mobility, obviously a lot harder than hitting the roads. Conscious effort not to twist your ankle or anything. And then the second leg back ran up Ferring Rife, which was really scenic, back through Kingston Galls Estate, back along the seafront, back to the car. So that's it. Now off to the gym, shower and a short roller set, and then home for some food and catch up on work. Hope you enjoyed the run. That's it for now. Speak to you in a bit. Afternoon, guys. Just been sitting down and working out some carb and some calorie intake for tomorrow's ride. I've just been prepping all of my kit, and I thought I'd do a quick video now to close off Friday. I'm going to shoot out, go and get my hair cut and have a bit of a trim up. So the kit I've got ready for tomorrow, I'm doing 55 miles, longest ride I've ever done. Probably a walk in the park to many people, but I want to make sure that I get it as right as I can, minimise any kind of last minute issues. So I've got the bike ready, got the Garmin charged, the GoPro's charged, the water bottles all ready. In the under saddle seat I've got a spare tyre, 3 tyre levers, 2 or 1 canister. I'm hoping that I don't get any more than 1 flat, touch wood. So that's it really on the bike. Everything's oiled and ready, shoes are cleaned and ready, helmet's ready at the side with the visor clean, the glasses on my sunnies ready. I've ordered and received a supplement company pack, so I've worked out what I need to consume based on the ingredients, the carb and calories on the back of that, and based on 3 gels an hour, 90 calories, 1 of their energy drinks which is 177, and a naked bar which I consume anyway of 106 calories. It works out 553 calories every hour, which is about 100 over what the recommended is, roughly. I mean, they say 300 calories, but I'm going to go over and see how I get on with calorie intake. I'm going to carb load in the morning for breakfast and have a litre of water, a couple of pints of water, and it works out 124.6 carbs. So that's it. So it works out 3 gels an hour, 1 water bottle an hour, and 1 bar an hour. So I've packed that. I'm going to see how I get on with that, and then adjust accordingly. Relatively earlier on than I wanted to start consuming these calories. I like the basics, you know, the water, the banana, the coconut waters. I'm still undecided, but I'm going to give it a go tomorrow, see how I get on. That's that. So that's it for today. It's Friday. My kids will be home shortly. As I said, I'm going to pop out, go and have a haircut and a beard trim. My kit's all ready for tomorrow. Garmin's charged, yeah. We're all ready. Everything's clean and ready. So that's it for today. Have a great Friday. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch up with you in the morning, pre-ride. I think I'm leaving about 7. No idea how long it's going to take. It's an easy ride. It's a long ride, an easy ride. I've programmed in the Garmin to go off various times, the alarms, to consume calories or to consume gels, the bar and the water. And I've got to set up the heart rate zone, so I keep the heart rate zone low, between 2 and 3. Otherwise, I know what will happen. I'll go off all keen and excited, and then I will be deflated by the time I get to where I'm going. So yeah, so that's it. Have a good one. Peace out. If you're training at the moment, then I hope your training's going well. And I'll catch up with you in the morning.